Hey guys, welcome to the Brushpix YouTube channel. We are a comic book company that loves to talk about other mediums, including movies, TV shows, and video games. If you like any of those things, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon below. Hey guys, this is Cyrus here from Brushpix.com. So I finally got the chance to play the game Ghost of Tsushima, and oh my goodness, the game is amazing. The graphics in and of themselves are just crystal clear. The way in which I proceed through the map is really fantastic. The HUD, because it's so minimalist and because I'm being guided by the wind the entire time, allows me to be able to see the game in a way in which I wouldn't see others. I really get a chance to stop and just look at the beauty of the world and really just take in the cinematic, artistic style that they were angling for. They consistently give me opportunities to find things on my own, to discover new paths, and also to be able to figure out strategic ways in order to be able to handle my enemy. This game is very intentional. Every move I make can be calculated, but it's not soul-crushingly difficult like the Soulsborne games. In and of itself, I would give this game high marks. I really love how they interweave the cinematic cutscenes into the gameplay in itself. The first time I actually make the decision to make a dishonorable kill in Jin's eyes, I actually get a very nice, clean flashback. Beyond that, I really love how I interact with the world itself. You know, the characters that I see and that I interact with, they know who I am, they know sort of what I'm about, and they act accordingly. Additionally, the way in which I interact with enemies is very interesting. Depending on how I'm taking them out, or depending on how I approach them, they actually act in different ways. And so there's a bit of difficulty trying to anticipate how they're going to respond and how I have to be able to move through the map as I'm trying to clear a settlement. Overall, I would say this game is very well built, and it's built for the consumer. That's the ultimate thing that I want to highlight here. This game was very intentional with what it wanted to do. It wanted to make a cinematic game that was very authentic to its Japanese origin and was going to tell a story that everyone could understand and relate with. See, because Jin is a samurai and he wants to be able to uphold that way of life, he has to make decisions, and he often comes in conflict when he has to make real-world decisions in order to be able to save other people. And so in and of that, it's a very tense and interesting. Every enemy I defeat and I have to fight is distinct and interesting, and the gameplay loop that I'm constantly put into is constantly varied. So I would give this game high marks all around. Beyond that, Sucker Punch, the actual developer, decided that they weren't going to put any loot boxes or any additional money-making cosmetics into this game. They said that the game is the game, and that's all it's supposed to be. And I think that's amazing. Beyond that, they're just released that they're going to be putting out a multiplayer, four-player co-op version that they're going to be playing, and you can get it for free as long as you bought the game. That's the kind of value that gamers want and appreciate. Because of all of these things, I believe that goodwill is going to be built between the publisher, the actual developer, and the players. That kind of trust and love and loyalty is going to be pushed into all their next games. Because we know who they are, they're going to continue to get that word of mouth buzz and get more people to buy the game. If you compare this to what Marvel is doing with their game, their Avengers game, it's the exact opposite. They decided to not really build a single-player game that's built on a story, but rather try to make, sort of a Destiny-esque kind of game, one that can be constantly monetized over and over again. And so they've sacrificed gameplay, they've sacrificed interest in the long term for players, because they decided that they're not going to optimize each individual character for the world. They decided that they're not going to really make an interesting gameplay loop, but rather they're just going to try to get us to buy as much loot as possible. And those games can get rather lazy at one point because it just becomes numbers on a screen rather than a really gorgeous and beautiful armor set and then weapons that sort of changes its style. Beyond that, if you think about it, why would Tony Stark need to go out and loot things from other parts of the world when he's literally a billionaire and can supply all of the tech that he needs himself? And so it's little things like that that really bother me. when I look at what's going on with Sucker Punch and the way in which they made Ghost of Tsushima, I just really appreciate everything that they've done for it. It's very intentional, everything that they've done. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's one of the best I've played in a long time. It's not soul-crushingly difficult, but it's challenging. It engages the player. It forces them to think. Every little outpost that I go to is exciting to be able to figure out how to navigate it. Beyond that, the different moves that I can level up in are very exciting, and there are different play styles that can handle different kinds of players. And so if you want to be more stealthy, that's fantastic. If you want to be more like a samurai and come out in the open, you can develop that skill set. But no matter how you play, ultimately, it really aids and pushes you in that direction and gives you opportunities to do that. So overall, I would give this game, again, high marks. I think it's a very smart and intentional game. I couldn't say more good things about it, and I would highly recommend it to anyone that wanted to get the opportunity to play it. So with that, guys, I thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe down below, and let me know what you think about the game of Ghost of Tsushima. Do you believe that it should be Game of the Year? And then additionally, would you recommend this game to your friends? So with that, guys, thanks.